Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast. Today, my guest is Chrissie Wunna. She's an actress and an OnlyFans creator. We delve into an array of topics, including that naked attraction episode, the tension between Chrissie's self-perception versus that of the public, Chrissie's view on the porn industry and sex work, and her advice to young people considering OnlyFans as an income stream. We also dig into the philosophical arguments for pornography, including the dangers of using it and whether or not OnlyFans is a net positive. For those of you that don't know, Chrissy and I were on Naked Attraction together. So this was a very different podcast to what I'm used to. I really wasn't sure what kind of conversation to expect, but I came away feeling very grateful for the discussion. So I hope you enjoy this conversation with Chrissie Wunna. Talk to me about first impressions. What do you think people's first impressions are of Chrissie?
Yeah, I think people's first impressions they're either really good or really bad, depending on your personality. So I think when people see me, they just think I'm some Yorkshire, gobby, sexy, glamorous, loud bimbo. I think that's what people think when they first see me. But I'm a whole lot more than that. And actually, it's sort of, and then slowly, when I change sort of my ways, as people say, I'm just growing up. So at 23, I certainly was that, you know what I mean? But at 43, I feel like I'm a completely different person now. So life is changing. You know, I'm a mom. I'm on a detox. So I haven't even drank in 2 months. And that's nuts for me. Because remember when we were on our date, I was like, oh my God, he doesn't even drink. And I wouldn't even know how to handle that. So I'm actually like still fun, but I'm a glamour puss. I'm confident.
What's a glamour puss?
Yes, a glamour puss. And I love that term because...
What is it?
What is it? So to me, I love like old school Hollywood. And you know how the women in those times were like draped in long sort of like golden sequin gowns and traipsing around in their like furs and like smoking their ginormous cigarettes, and all the men loved them and all the women wanted to be. That is epitome of a glamour puss. So when I was a little girl, I would watch like Marilyn Monroe and Joan Collins and love them. So it's like all I ever wanted to be when I grew up.
Right. Okay. And so you said you're much more than people's first impressions.
Yeah.
Obviously, like you said, you're a mother. Like, delve into that a little bit more. So how are you different from those impressions?
Because the reason why I know I'm different to what people see me as an initial impression is simply because they tell me all the time. Whenever I'm on a date or whenever I've got to know someone as a friend or whenever I show up onto a set, and people are always like, oh my God, you're so different to how I thought you were going to be. But I don't know how they perceive me beforehand, you know what I mean? They're either like, oh, you're actually funnier or you're actually kind. And I'm like, what? But it's weird. So I don't actually know how people see me. I can only guess from the bits that I get. But I'm actually just a dead normal northern girl, friendly, kind, polite. Yeah, I'm a wild one. But it's not like harmful wild. It's just cutesy and fun. And at the end of the day, yeah, like I think I have problems with dating simply because men will go to my Insta and see me like, and they forget that I'm not just some fantasy Insta person, and I'm actually like we were saying, like a mum, you know, a woman. I'm running a business. I have like a career, you know. And people forget all those bits, and they're just like, oh, she's got really big boobs and the tan, she's so hot, like, you know what I mean? So there's a lot more to me than that, and so it's really difficult, I think, for.
Do you think you end up like with 2 versions of yourself somewhat because you spend so much time like on set and in the camera and on the camera?
I think when I was younger, there was definitely 2 versions of myself because, I mean, I was much more insecure in my 20s. So I thought being on telly and being in front of a screen was my world, and it's where I lit up, and it's almost like I became like the showgirl. And then in my normal life, I would just go home, and I was actually married really young. Do you know what I mean? So it was
Yeah.
like, and I'd just go home and like do the dishes and scrub some gussets. So it was almost like a bit of escapism. But now I'm older, not at all like what people see on a screen is exactly me. But that took like 20 years. You know, if you were to just talk to me in person, I am normal, I'm chatty, I'm like this anyway, like high energy. Like, and so now I
Yeah.
try and make my videos. And this is only recent over the last month because it's taken me 40 years to realise. They're just I just vlog now and I just talk to people about what is about to happen in my life. But it is just dead me. Like, I've just posted a video on Instagram right now and it's literally just like this.
Yeah.
So, like, it is real now.
Yeah. So you're the real Chrissie right now. You're not the camera
Yes.
Chrissie.
Yeah, but I feel like if I'm on a film or acting, like the whole point is that I'm not me. I'm playing a character. So
Yes.
it's really easy for me to go in and out of a character because that's my job, you know? So,
I've often wondered that, yeah, because like it's a bit of a dream for lots of people to like imagine being an actor or something. And as I've gotten older, I have thought like I bet that must be like really difficult to like play a role, and then I mean on the like extreme end of things, you imagine like yeah, people who do like the Joker and like
yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix and like and obviously Heath Ledger, like there's a real dark side to that where they subsume this character.
Yeah.
And I imagine to be like an amazing actor, it must be hard to like get that balance right. How do you go about not becoming absorbed by the character?
This is like so intense, Jason. Now, I'm never absorbed by
I
the
should have
character.
given you a safe word, shouldn't I?
No, a safe word. He turned it 50
The
shades in
safe
one.
word is the safe word could be what could our safe word be, Chrissie?
Dick.
All right, Dick. Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
I was thinking Anna.
Anna.
Anna!
I love how the word dick led you to Anna.
I was already thinking about Anna before I was thinking about Dick, so
Anna is so hot.
Anna's
She's
got a lot of admirers.
She is sexy though, like her aura. There's like a ooh la la about her. I fancy Anna. Anyway,
Do you know she gave me an off-camera wink when we're on set?
Is that like a
little
Hollywood hand? It's like a Paul Hollywood handshake that on Naked Attraction.
Yeah, it
You
was
the
like
wink.
this moment where like everything went still and like no one was looking. She looked over and she just went, and I was like, wow.
Oh my
That
God,
was
I'm
worth
so
it.
jealous. She didn't wink at me.
I know. Do you know, I'd love to have her on the show actually. I sent her a DM a while ago, but she blanked me, so
Oh, that's sad. Maybe you can like. Oh, I
maybe we
don't
should
know.
just talk about her now and we'll clip it up and then tag her.
Yeah, and see
Come
what
on,
she
Anna.
says. I mean, I've spoken to her since. Like,
Well,
I don't
you're a
know.
celeb, Chris.
No,
Chrissie.
I wish if I was, there'd be no chance. I'd be like rinsing it.
I bet you're in her primary. I'll be in her requests with
You're
the
in
cesspit of
everyone's
requests.
primary. No, we've had like the randomest, most popular date on not first dates on Naked Attraction ever for some reason. I don't know. It was just so talked about. Well, it was talked about because you pied me off. And then the whole of Yorkshire was like, what?
Yeah, so all right, let's talk about that. So you say I pied you off. So
You did pie me off. Why are you not even looking at me? You're like looking away. I want eye contact.
because you make me nervous.
Why? You had already met me fully naked. We'd seen each other. We'd talked to each other in the pod. So there's all these other guys. and then I had picked you over Ion in that last minute. Do you know what I mean? And
Picked the
so
wrong
you should have been
guy.
feeling confident at that point.
You picked the wrong guy, Chrissy. Should have gone for Eon.
Yeah, you should be like, oh, she picked me. And in fact, when I did pick you, you were actually saying that. You were all like, oh, I can't believe I've got picked. You were like that. And then you pied me off. Sorry, just
Yeah,
lip glossing.
how did that feel?
When you pied me off,
Yeah.
it made me feel shocked. But if I'm honest, I expected it because the way the date was going, it was not a bad date, do you know what I mean? But the
Yeah.
way it was going, I was like, oh, we're just going to end up being mates. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So it didn't feel so bad because I expected it. It only feels bad if a guy is selling you something where, you know how a guy is always like, I love you, I love you, I want you. Then all of a sudden you find out they've cheated on you. That is disturbing
Not
to
been
me.
through that myself, but yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. Oh, is it? Have you never been cheated on?
No, I have, but not by a guy.
Oh.
Just the way you said it.
Heartbreak's the same. It has
Yeah.
no gender.
Well, yeah. I just started some psychotherapy actually, and been going through cheating on stuff. So yeah. No, it's good.
Really?
Like it's good. I love it. It's awesome. Like because I'm so interested in like psychology and like why am I like this and I'm so interested in it and I'll be there with this therapist and I'm like, oh wow, yeah, and that's because of this, and then I'm like, fucking hell, this is my life, and then I'll cry.
Oh, yeah, but that's really healthy because as long as it makes you smile, you know, finding out and learning about yourself is a really
Yeah.
good, you know, therapy. It's a, you know, you can't go through life not really feeling comfy in your own skin. I think that's the worst thing you can do. And whenever I chat to you, you always act like really shy or really insecure. And I don't, you know, you're not. You've been on a show with completely naked.
Yeah.
You know, like that is not something an insecure guy would do. So that means you were comfortable and you were confident enough to do that.
Mm.
And you got your guitar out and you sang and you weren't nervous about that. You know what I mean? So
No, I was
and then
I was very calm actually. Like I was strangely calm for the whole experience. Do you know what I mean? I felt like I was just in a game.
well, it is a game.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, and actually, that was like one thing I was telling myself before I was going on the show. Like, life is a game. Don't take yourself too seriously. Like, just have fun. Don't, you know, because it was obviously very new to me to be doing anything like that.
Yeah, but there's not answers to everything. I always think you always try and find a solution to every problem, and sometimes there's not that. We're all just passing through. And I could come off this podcast now, walk across the street, and get splattered by a bus or something, and you would be my last moment on this earth. You know what I mean? And there's, you know, in those moments, there doesn't have to be a why or a what. You just have to live in the moment, I think. Because you never know what could happen. And I always hate it when you're so insecure because you're actually so confident. Like, I'm really good at seeing the things that are so wonderful about you. You know what I mean? Like, whenever you act like, oh no, I feel shy because it's you. I'm like, why? Because to me, you are really confident. You always play like you're a bit broken, but I don't think you're broken at all.
Yeah, I don't. No, and I don't either. I honestly don't. I believe that, well, correction. I believe that everyone's like had a little bit, you know, everyone's a bit broken in some ways. I don't like the term broken. Everyone has challenges, emotional challenges or whatever, but I think I'm just very vulnerable about it. I'm very open about like my experience with like mental health and alcohol and, you know, fill in the blank. So I think sometimes that might come across like I'm portraying myself as broken, but it's not that. I think I'm just like, I took so much inspiration from people who I've followed, like podcasters and stuff, who were very vulnerable and have gone through difficult shit. So so for me, it's kind of like therapeutic to just like be totally open and, you know, and with the hope that like someone is listening who has been through similar things and is able to take some strength and go, okay, well, yeah, this guy's struggled with alcohol or whatever, but he's doing great now. Like, I want to
Yeah.
be a good influence. And that's happened like to a certain
Yeah.
extent with my minuscule following online. Like a few people have reached out.
It's not minuscule. It's not minuscule. Even if you change one person's life, you don't. It's not the amount of followers; it's the people that you affect. You know what I mean? 5 people could watch a video, and it doesn't matter if you've changed their lives in some way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like just one person. That's all. That's all that matters,
Exactly.
isn't it?
Because it's not about the numbers. Who cares? It's not about video views. It's just about any person that, whether it's 1 or like a million, it doesn't matter. If you've helped someone, they'll never forget that. You know, they'll always remember that. Life is about making memories, you know, and anyone that's inspired you. And you will have inspired so many people, you know. Like, you've definitely inspired me. You've inspired so many people. And sometimes you don't even realise.
How so?
But how have you inspired me?
Yep.
Because you actually put me in my place a little bit, because I would have thought going into like, I had never really been on a date in a long time, and I'd never interacted with someone that wasn't sort of doing the same thing as I was, you know what I mean, or in sort of like the same sort of industry. And it was really, and this was like at that time, it was really weird to just be sat across from this guy that I'd never met before and actually learn about him. And then you were so different to how I was sort of back then. And even now we're quite different. We're similar in the same ways sometimes, but we're different. And, you know, in that time, I learned so much about men, dates, you. I learned so much about myself. And that's like such a gift, isn't it?
What? So let's like hover
But
over
I
that
don't
bit a
think you
bit
were
more.
that open, because I felt like, I was like, why do you not drink? So if you were really open, you would have said, oh, because I think I'm an alcoholic or an alcoholic. And then I would have had a completely different approach to my date.
Well, 2 things on that. They edited out a lot of our conversation.
Yeah, but yeah, they did.
So I can't
But
remember
I was
like
still on that date. You didn't tell me that.
yeah, but also
I was there.
but also I wouldn't necessarily say I'm an alcoholic. So that's why I just said I don't drink, you know.
Oh, okay. But I like reasons why. You
Yeah.
like finding out solutions to problems, and I like the whys. Like, I want to know why.
Yeah. Do you want to know why?
Yes, I still to this day want to know why. I don't know why.
So, I've just had a problematic relationship with alcohol throughout my life. And like I grew up in a very alcohol centered culture. Still am.
How do you mean by that? As in at home, like your parents, or just around your mates, or what?
All of the above. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah.
just a lot of drinking when I was younger. I was always surrounded by it. A good childhood.
Yeah.
Very grateful. But yeah, I was just around. I was around it a lot, and what I saw was what I picked up on was if you are struggling with an emotion or a difficult situation in your life, we drink.
Yeah.
And so I would witness that over and over and over again. And also, it's like I don't know if you have you're from a slightly different background to me, so maybe it was different. But like for me, it was like the first time, when I was 14, 15, whatever age I was.
Yeah.
And the first time you like have a drink with like the adults, it's like, like I'm like, it was just nice to be part of the crack, because all my life you've been looking over at like all the adults like having fun and getting pissed up.
Yeah.
And it's like, so
you felt accepted because it was sort of like glamorized to you in your head.
Yeah. And I even remember like the first time, like, so alcoholics will say like the first time they drank alcohol, it was like, wow, like this is what I've been waiting for all my life. Like some people, like that's how they say it. Like it finally made me feel normal. I wouldn't say that was the effect it had on me, actually. I think it was more just kind of like, oh, this is a bit weird. And then kind of like, but I think it allowed me because I do have like this insecure side to my confident side. It allowed me to sort of not be afraid to like be like a little bit more confident, and which is the same for a lot of people, right? You know, it does. It is a solution if you are not a very confident person. Alcohol can help you in that regard. This is not life.
Liquid courage.
This is not life advice. But yeah, and just unfortunately, yeah, it just built up over time, and then before I knew it, I would just, you know, because I'd gone through some extremely stressful periods in my life, drinking became a coping mechanism. So, you know, I would come home from my work, and it'd be like, whoa, horrendous day, and it wasn't like I was drinking loads, but it was just very frequently. And then, yeah, I think in general, I have a very addictive personality. If I like something, I want more of it.
Is that with everything? Is that like with drinking, activities, sex, love,
Yes.
a person?
Yeah, like
with everything. So you just have that personality.
Yeah, and I used to be honest, I used to say this all the time, like I'll get addicted to anything, you know, and actually, I look back, like I reflect on that now, and it's not fully true actually. I'm extremely, I can moderate in certain areas, but on average, 60% of things, yes, I'm definitely in that category. So, all I do now is I just lean into that. So I'm like, right, okay, well, what if I was addicted to, you know, the gym or the podcast or my career or whatever, and I sort of bounce between these different things. And actually, it's really nice because I've kind of accepted that my weakness is both as, you know, a superpower as well, and it can be used for good. But yeah, a great example of this. Sorry to like monologue.
No.
A great example of this is hot and cold showers, right? So, so in the last few years, I've really gotten into doing cold water stuff, cold showers, ice baths and stuff. It's been very therapeutic for me. But how this started was throughout my life, whenever I would get in the shower, I'd have a hot shower, and I could never get out. And my mum would always be like, you're going to be late for school. What are you doing in there? Get out, or whatever. Like, come on. And it would be minimum 20 minutes in the shower. Like, I couldn't imagine. Yeah. Like, people are like, 5-minute shower. I'm like, how the fuck did you do that? Like, so what would happen is I'd get in the shower, hot shower. Well, this is nice. Why would I want to get out? Like, so.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, and I believe this is like very linked to like my personality. It's like, this is nice. I don't want it to stop. So it's like hot. And then to the point where like I'll get out and then I'm like lethargic. I can't really get going because, you know, hot water will relax you.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah, so it's better in the evening for me. But and that's where I found like the cold showers, because one day I just turned the shower to cold and finished having a cold shower, and then it was like, oh, and I was like, it was amazing, but also it's a really good way for me to be quicker, because you're not hanging about if you have a cold shower. I'm not having a 20-minute cold shower.
No, unless you're absolutely insane.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's kind of me and my sort of addictive sort of sides. It's like, this is nice. Let's do more of it.
No, but did anything happen to you because you were like in this warm shower and you were just like oh, this feels so good. I never want it to end. And I feel like life is full of good stuff. I would just be like, have a shower, it's good, great, move on to the next great thing. It's how I see the world. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Whereas it's like an adventure, whereas you'll be like, I might not have this good moment again. I need to treasure it. It's weird.
Yeah. It's a funny one actually, because I have actually come a little bit full circle with that stuff, and I'm trying to get better at not being perfect. So like, as in, like, if I don't have the perfect morning routine, like, it used to terrify me. Like, if I don't do the cold bath, if I don't do this, if I don't do my meditation, then my life will fall apart. I will start drinking again. Da 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 da. So this is how.
Right.
So the morning routine became like a coping mechanism. It's like my safe place to be like, if I do this, I'll just be okay. You know, I won't want to kill myself. So,
Oh, don't
but
say
but but
that.
recently, actually, I've had like an interesting period whereby I've been sort of not doing all that stuff, and I have actually been doing the occasional hot shower and not be having the perfect morning. And then I've actually learned that, guess what? I can actually perform pretty well in the world without having all the things line up. So yeah, so I've been going quite an interesting journey, like, well, for me anyways, sort of like learn
Are
about
you
myself.
dating right now? Are you dating someone? Do you have a girlfriend? Are you single? And are you talking to anyone right now?
I'm single. I've been single for 3 years now,
Yeah.
and I'm sort of like, I'm on the apps, although technically I'm on the apps, but at the moment they're uninstalled. Just because I'm having a bit of a break, because I can get
But
addicted.
what happens if you don't? You can just go out and meet people. I think that's a better way. And you don't have to go out to a bar. You can just go to a coffee shop and just do some work. You'll meet people. People like are everywhere, aren't they? You
Well,
don't have
yeah,
to
but
be on the app. I hate the app.
you don't live
I just think they're about hookup.
where I live, so that's
Yeah, no, that's true. Like, I know it works for people. Like, I know that, but I just think it's a bunch of people looking to get laid really quick. It's like, oh, they say nice things up until the third inbox, and then by the fourth, it's like a dick pic, and you're like, oh God, stop.
yeah. Do you know? And I've had that same thing with girls actually, because not that I'm saying that my phone is full of pictures from women. That's not what I'm saying.
Oh,
But like,
vagina.
but actually, it's just as it is to women. Like, it's exactly the same to me. So it's a massive turn off if I start getting pictures from someone.
I can't imagine that though. Like, I feel like I would never in my life, if I didn't know someone, so on a dating app, be like, oh, hi, I came across your profile, blah, blah, blah. Here, look at me fully naked. I would never, what? That
You
doesn't
must
make any sense.
you must get more of that than most people, though. Give
Every 4 minutes.
Yeah.
On a slow day, every 7 minutes. But to the point where I feel like I've got so many dick pics, I could make a coffee book out of it. Like, it's like I could build a dick pic mountain. It's
Mm.
ridiculous. That almost, I feel like I get attached to boys really quickly as soon as they don't do that. They're like, oh my God, I just want to get to know you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like so shocked.
Yeah.
That I'm like, oh my God, wow, what a lovely person. And they might not necessarily be the loveliest person, but simply because they're wedged in between a mountain of dicks
Yeah.
and sexual. I think I always say, like, guys with me, because I've got a pair of knockers and I come across as sexy,
Hmm.
they step forward sexually instead of remembering to be respectful
Yes.
or approach me initially with their romantic fuck. A romantic fuck.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's real basic advice. Like, if anyone's listening, like, don't fucking send a dick pic. Like,
As your hello, hi,
like,
as your introduction.
what is, yeah, like,
But saying that, that's actually not true because the first thing I saw of you was your dick. And we're actually, we get on. It's not weird, And so,
Very different scenario, though, isn't it? Very different scenario
yeah.
to
But it's
like.
the same thing, but on a different platform. It was just a live telly dating app.
Let's talk about OnlyFans.
Yes.
So, when did you start on OnlyFans? How's that been going? What's your feeling about the platform?
Yeah, no, definitely. So I started OnlyFans years and years ago because I needed to make a bit of extra money. I actually started off in the industry as a glamour model when I was little. I was a Playboy bunny. So it was just kind of a go-to really to make extra money. Never grew up thinking I wanted to be a glamour model. Never got to an age in the, like where I was like, ooh, I want to be an OnlyFans model. I'm literally the opposite type of person, which people wouldn't understand. You know what I mean? Like, so I see my OnlyFans as just another way to make money. I agree with people like celebrating sensuality, sexuality. I think that's, if you want to do it, do it. If you've got it, flaunt it. I'm not narrow-minded like that. And so I just saw it as an easy way for me to make extra money. It's not like a massive career thing. At the end of the day, I'm an actress. I do telly, and that's my job. When I was a little girl, all I ever wanted was to be an actress. All I ever wanted was to be on telly and entertain. So I'm not going to give up all of that, everything I've worked for all my life, because I actually managed to do it, and I never thought I would, to be an OnlyFans model. But props to all those that are doing it and smashing it. Like, I do really well on it, but obviously, like, do you know what I mean?
How much
I
is
don't really spend
how much is the subscription?
It changes. It's like it changes because sometimes there's these deals on, and
Black
sometimes
Friday
like there's
deal.
not. So it varies.
Okay.
But it's not a high subscription. I just think like it's like I don't like charging people loads and loads and loads for stuff because I just don't think it's a good way to do business. I actually talked to Alfie Best. He's like the biggest almost gypsy billionaire. Do you know what I
Okay.
mean?
I don't know him.
So he's like one of the richest gypsies in the entire world, and he's almost a billionaire. And he started his life in a caravan. I always wanted. This is like a couple of years ago. I wanted to have a wine with him because I just wanted to chat to him about how he did it. And so I DM'd him, and he said, "Yeah, let's meet for a wine." And the week after, I was sat in London doing lunch with him. And it was absolutely nuts. And I learned so much about money in that time because he said to me, it is much better and easier to make money by taking little bits off people rather than saying, if you say to someone, pay £200 right now for this, they're not going to they're going to think about it, aren't they? Whereas if you're like 99p for this, boom.
Yeah, lots of low ticket.
Yeah, so I think like mine's low ticket, but I don't really focus on it really. And I actually make most of my money on OnlyFans through messages. So more of the guys want to talk to me than they want anything else, which is really weird, right?
Yeah. So talk to me on a practical level because I've not used it. Like what happens there? Like they pay per message, or do you have like a time limit? What's the crack?
Oh, it's all, yeah, no, there's not a time limit. It's like all just different. So basically they subscribe and then they'll then be able to see exclusive pictures of me, which is just on a feed, like any app.
Mm-hmm.
And then in my messages, it's the only place I reply to DMs. So I'll have a DM every 4 minutes in my Insta. Those guys won't get a response because I can't, I would spend my whole life just replying on Insta and TikTok, and I can't do that. So, on my OnlyFans is the only place. So I'll just go through it and just answer DMs like normal, like I would talk to you or anyone. And then I just talk to them, but then they sort of like, if they want a video call or if they want to chat to me or if they want like something more explicit, like a strip or something, then I'll charge them for that. But obviously if I'm taking my clothes off, so to me, I'm just like, so definitely. But
on your general, like on your main feed, so like your entry level feed, I don't know, whatever that would be.
There's nothing explicit on it. It'll be like me, like this in shorts, like going, oh, what are you up to? And then they're just in my DMs straight away. But the difference is on Insta, I'm like, hi, what are you up to? They're in my DMs and they get no reply.
Right. And do you think your Instagram has grown your OnlyFans, or your OnlyFans has grown your Instagram?
My TikTok has grown my OnlyFans.
Ah, yeah. See, I'm not on TikTok.
TikTok has grown my OnlyFans for sure.
So
My
TikTok
Insta,
has grown
I
your.
just love my Insta because if I'm being honest, I'm not an OnlyFans girl. It's not like and like,
Mm,
I'm not like, the porn sort of side of OnlyFans. I'm
hmm.
just genuinely not that girl. I'm a completely different person to that, but I'm not stupid enough to know that I'm built a certain way. And it's just an easy way to make money.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting. Like I'm like, yeah, somewhat conflicted on like the whole thing. Like, is it a net positive, net negative? Like, I think there are some serious issues with like the porn industry, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Um, uh,
I like know a lot of porn stars who do it for a living, and they've got great stories and bad stories. But I definitely know it's all about the money. No girl is going into any form of like
mm,
soft porn, hard porn, or naked job without the incentive being money.
of
You know what I
course.
mean? It's not. Oh, I can't wait to take all my clothes off and have everyone. I mean, I don't see it like that. Like, but I'm open minded.
Mm,
So, more props to them because I think if you're a woman and you need to make money, there are women making like nearly £100,000 a month on there, and
wow.
props to them. They're making more than any man could in like, but I mean, that's someone's like 5 years salary or something, and they're doing it in a month.
Yeah, sure.
So well done. I mean, I can only applaud that. I think it's amazing.
What about do you think do you think it's providing a service?
Yeah. That's what
Yeah.
OnlyFans is. It is a service. And it's like a service that people I know they need, whether it's
Mm,
companionship, someone to talk to, someone to be naughty with if they're on their own. Like you. You're sat at home, you want to meet a girl, maybe you haven't met a girl, but you need a girl to talk to. And it's like a best mate. So then say you subscribe to my OnlyFans, we're talking all the time. And then say if you connect with me and then you want it to be a bit more. It's like having a virtual girlfriend almost that you can go see whenever you want. And it can turn sexy or it cannot. It doesn't matter.
yeah. I suppose do you think the danger is like for some guys that they will, because they've got that access to someone on the internet, that it could have a detrimental effect in terms of their motivation to get out the house and find a girlfriend in real life?
Yeah, definitely. I think so. But that's because I'm someone that would go out and
Mm,
everywhere. But I think
mm,
but it doesn't, I mean, loads of people meet people online. You know what I mean? So it's just a different day and age, I think. I think it's actually really convenient that you don't have to go out and you can just sit at home, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you think, oh, I should go out because I don't like being sick, and you just can't be asked, you know what I mean? If I'm just sat at home watching a bit of telly, I've got to do my hair, do my face. I can't be bothered. So it's much easier just to. It's it's weird because it's great because it's so convenient, but bad because it stops you from venturing out.
yeah, maybe that's what's missing from my life. Maybe I need to sign up to an OnlyFans. Not
Well,
do
you
it.
should. No, but you should definitely do it just to try it out because I think you don't learn anything about anything unless you try it out.
Mm,
And that's you could go on there and just hate it. And you're like, this is not what I wanted.
I
Or you could go
suppose
on it and be like,
like
do you know what, this is all right. But you know it's a virtual situation. And then you're like, oh, okay. And you never
mm,
know. I know a girl that's actually dating one of her subs right now, and she's so happy because they ended up having a connection. And it doesn't have to be porny. Like if you go on my feed on OnlyFans,
mm,
none of it's like I'm got my clothes on.
yeah.
So I'm cultivating relationships and I'm doing that because I have a genuine interest in people. I want to know why they're there, what they're doing, have they got a wife, are they single? I want to know everything about them.
Two questions for you.
Yeah.
Sorry, is it a sub, did you say? Oh, a
Yes.
subscriber. Right, okay.
Subscriber. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I had a dominatrix on last time, so I was.
Did you? Are you
So,
subby? You're definitely subby. You're not dommy.
I'm kind of neither.
What do you mean?
Well, like I don't like
Vanilla.
it. Yeah, so I don't. Yeah, BDSM, not into it.
No.
Like I
Yeah,
don't want to be. Sorry, I don't want to be dominated. Definitely,
no.
don't want to be dominated. And I also don't want to be like. I don't feel the need to be like fucking strangling and choking and
No,
like
I think
being
that's
super dominant. Like
no.
my go-to is I like to be dominant in the bedroom, but in like a traditional way. Like, you know, I just like to be the dominant partner, but not like toxically dominant. Or
No,
not
of
no,
course.
sorry, toxic sounds. I don't want to disrespect people who are into that sort of stuff because I've learned a little bit more about it. And
Yeah, no, I mean it's certainly a thing and it's great but everybody has preferences. I mean, as long as
yeah,
both parties are happy with what's going on, like
correct. Yeah, like as long
it's
as it's
healthy then.
respectful. But for
Yeah.
me, like I would not feel comfortable like dominating a woman in some of the ways that people do because it seems to me like violent or whatever, you
Yeah,
know.
but that's an extreme level. You could
Yes.
just be in bed with someone and they just even say, go down on me, and that is being dominant because you are telling someone to do something that you enjoy.
Mm,
That's
yeah.
still dominant.
So did you? By the way, let's go back. You said I was definitely you. I'd definitely be the sub,
Rubbish.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
because I
think.
feel like there's no way we could be in bed and you'd be like, you wouldn't ever. I can't imagine you telling me what to
I.
do.
I think that's. I think that's why it wouldn't work between us, because
Why?
I think you're quite a masculine energy,
Yes.
and
But you're like,
I prefer to be the masculine, if that makes sense. So that's why I tend to prefer like quieter girls, like, you know, because
like
I like to be the person in charge,
in
not in a like
charge.
yeah, I just do, like that's who, like, you know, that's how I like to be, I guess. I
Yeah, yeah,
don't
but
like
that's, yeah.
the idea of being like tied up and stuff, just like gives me the ick.
Yeah, but I feel like just like people don't. I don't know. I've never tied someone up. Like that's
Mm,
extreme. Like sort of like
yeah,
bedroom play. Like whenever I usually have sex with people, it's just really normal and really loving, but it's really sensual because it's about a chemistry. But
yeah,
it,
I'm
like
all about the
Dommy,
sensuality.
yeah, Dommy isn't even that. It's just when someone, if a girl is like sat there and then she opens her legs and says, "Go down on me," that is her being dominant because she's told you to do something.
Yeah.
And so if you say to a girl, go down on me, and she does, and that turns you on, that means you're dominant. But if she says go down on me and you do, and it turns you on because she's told you what she likes, then that means you're subby. Or you could be a
Mm,
switch.
yeah, I definitely prefer the former um out of those two. But
Yes.
which do you prefer? Oh, yeah, sorry,
I'm
you prefer
switch.
being
Like I feel
yeah.
like I'm sensual in general, so I enjoy. It's less about what's going on; it's more about the person. It's got nothing to do
Mm,
with. I've not got any major fetishes or anything. It's always about the guy. You know what I mean? So it's like reading a room, but reading the sheets almost. As I say, it's like what's happening in the moment. It's not like you can plan anything. You don't know what's going to happen. So it's just a moment. It's meant to be euphoric, and you just read each other's bodies and chemistry.
mm,
It's hard. I'm really good in bed. You
I'm sure.
know what I mean? But it's about that. It's about understanding them,
As
understanding
am
what
I,
they
by the way.
do. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's all it is. But I'm really loving in the bedroom. I'm not
Yes.
like sort of, I'm just loving.
And
And I think that's really
I think
important.
that's precisely why we probably won't work, because I'm pretty much the same. Like I think we're literally like the same sort of energy, like a bit more
We've got the
dominant,
same energy.
but like, you know, in that like
Oh, in the bedroom.
in that
Yes.
balance that you're talking about in the bedroom sounds
Yeah.
like, yeah, we'd be fighting for that sort of like position. No pun
But it's not
intended.
fighting for the position because if you're a switch, you can go either way. So if they're wanting to, because sometimes I feel like in the bedroom, in a moment I want to be dominant, but then other times I want to be dominated.
Mm,
So that's what makes me a switch. Because in a moment, it could just all happen in one little session. Like he could just be like, "Oh, do this to me, babe," and I'll do it. And then it'll be hot because like he's so pleasured. And then I'll guide him and be like, "Touch me here," and then he'll do it, and that'll turn me on because then I've been dominant. So it's like a switch.
Mm.
You know, it's like hot.
Do you think if someone was considering, let's say that they've just finished college or whatever, let's say someone's 18, male or female. No, let's say female because you understand, you're a female.
Yeah.
Female,
Sorry.
18, just finished college, whatever, doesn't know what to do, thinking about making some money on the side, thinking about doing OnlyFans. What is your advice to them?
I wouldn't do it. I mean, sorry, there's my cat. No, like at 18, I think 18 is far too young to be doing an OnlyFans. I think it's sex is an old person's game. You know, it's an adult sort of thing. At 18, I would not have been grown enough to do an OnlyFans at all.
Yeah.
At all, not at all. There's like other ways to make money at 18.
So you just say straight up, don't do it.
Yeah, I would never suggest like an 18 is so tiny to me. I'm 43 years old. Do you know what I mean?
What
No.
what if they were 25?
25, I think at 25, you're not kids. You can do whatever you want at 25. You've grown at that point. There's a big difference between being 18 and 25. That's huge.
Yeah, well, they say your brain doesn't stop developing until 25.
Yeah, like at 18, I was like, still like insecure and I didn't know myself at all, still just going out to bars and having like a blue wicked, you know what I mean? Like it's a lot. I mean, you can't like sort of like handle sort of a career like that. I don't think I couldn't personally. At 25, it was different. At 25, I had already moved by myself to Hollywood. I'd lived there for like loads of years already and married someone. Like I was really grown by 25.
Yeah.
So I could have done anything I wanted.
Yeah.
At 18, I was a completely different person. 18's too young.
Yeah.
Anyone can literally do whatever they want. But at 18, to me, that is too young. So I would never suggest it. If an 18-year-old girl came up to me, I'd be like, no. Well, first of all, I'd say, what do you actually want to do in life? What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Like, if your goal is to, some people are like, I want to be a nurse. I want to be on the telly. None of them are just like, I want to be an OnlyFans star, I don't think. So it'll just be to make extra bits of money, but you can make extra money all different kinds of way.
And let's roll with that 25-year-old example.
Yeah.
What are some like warnings? What are some considerations? What are some practical like decision tree kind of stuff that you should go through to consider? Like if someone is like, this is what I'm going to do, whatever, would you what would you have wanted someone to tell you before you started doing it?
Well, the good thing about OnlyFans when you're older is that you control it. It's your business. You control it. And that is huge. Because I've never ever done I only used to be a glamour model. So I only did Playboy. I did the lads mags like Nuts and Zoo. So I've never been really in the porn industry. Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, I was just posing for a camera and then it was on the cover of Loaded. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't the same thing, so I would never felt really like I was in any danger because it was always just like being an entertainer. I've never been in a situation, where they're having to go into work and have sex with numerous people and things like that. I've never been in that situation. So I don't know. But for me, just pictures and things like that and a bit of a strip, it's nothing. And so to me, I feel really safe and I feel like OnlyFans is a good place in the sense of you control it. No one else but you says yes or no. Whereas before, when it didn't exist, you would work for someone else and it's usually some dude who's like, take all your clothes off, see that client do this. I would assume it's like that.
Yeah.
And that's worse.
Yeah, for sure. And
you know what I mean? Whereas now, if you don't want to do it, you just don't do it. If a guy's like, I want you on all fours, barking like a dog, and telling me you love me. If you don't want to do it, you say no.
Mm.
Basically. And if you do want to do it, what it gives you, what the OnlyFans platform actually gives you is choice and freedom.
Yeah.
And so that is actually really, really positive. But like I said, I have never been in the porn industry. I don't know, I don't know how it works, but I would assume that if you're a sex worker, you're in a much more positive place now because there's no pimp, there's no boss, you know what I mean? There's no having, you know, you're in charge.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you think
I would think.
there's some examples where that can happen even within the OnlyFans space, right? Like pimps
How do you
operating.
mean?
Well, I've just like is there
Like
not?
operated by a pimp, sort of
Yeah,
like.
like is it like I've heard there's some of that going on. Is there not?
I mean, I don't know.
Right.
Like,
Okay.
I only do. So, OnlyFans is a massive platform. I mean, it's not even all that. There's people doing fitness on there. There's people doing well-being. There's people doing fashion. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, in that porny bit,
Yeah.
like, I mean, I don't know. It's like a zillion million own little businesses all in one big OnlyFans mall.
Right. So
You
it's
know what I mean?
quite
So I only
it's quite
know
a
my
sort of
business.
like yeah. In terms of like the community, it's kind of not that well connected in terms of like
Yeah, because it's like a million trillion businesses under, if it was one big
yeah.
shopping mall called OnlyFans. So it's almost like there's no formula to OnlyFans because are you doing fitness on there? Are you doing porn on there? Are you, you know, a well-being coach? Are you a gardener? That's, you know, there's all different things going on, that there's not just one way, or because it's everyone has their own separate business.
So if someone's doing a fitness channel on
Yes.
OnlyFans, does that have a sort of like sexual coloring to
No, the
it?
fitness people are actually the people making the most money. There's comedians on there just telling jokes and selling jokes.
Really?
Yes. Like what? I mean, everyone thinks like OnlyFans is just this porn site. But the reason why they owe it to all those people is simply because that's what put it on the map.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what grew the business and put it on the map and made it loads of money in order for it to expand to probably what it wanted to be. There's comedians on there who are selling jokes. There's, you know, fashionistas on there selling style tips.
Right.
There's like well-being coaches selling like lessons in life and like all this stuff.
Interesting.
It's like loads. Even the fitness people are making the most money out of anyone. So it's like, I don't know why everyone just thinks it's porn. I don't get it.
Branding problem.
Yeah, like literally.
Well,
everyone just thinks it's porn, but there's so many people making money on there.
yeah. Oh, how interesting.
Like even there's like loads of reality stars that are just like, come with me behind the scenes whilst I film my episode of Towie.
Right.
And that's what they sell.
Right, okay. Interesting.
Well, it's almost like you look like you're so enlightened, as if you didn't even know that.
Yeah, yeah. No, I had no idea. So,
but it is the sex workers and the porn girls and guys who actually made the whole platform its initial startup, its initial name, its initial money. So they owe everything to those people.
Right.
So it's really bad there. There was that stage where people were poo-pooing it for like the porn girls or whatever on OnlyFans because they're the people that made that entire platform.
Yeah. I must say, like, and just sort of taking a step back, talking about like the sort of the more sexual side, like if you like take the two things and you have like this is porn and this is a girl on OnlyFans. For anyone who's listening, I've got my hands up and comparing the left and the right one. Like, I suppose one, obviously you've got like there's some issues with the porn industry or whatever, which have been well documented on various documentaries. Luther did a good one. And then you've got like I always think like, what is it doing to my brain by watching, like I'm getting turned on by watching other people have sex. right? If I'm watching porn.
Yes.
So you can see some examples where that is problematic because
No,
you are basically
it's just a
being,
bit of fun.
yeah, but I
It's not. Sometimes it's not that deep. You just laid in bed. You want to like you want to play with yourself because you're feeling horny and you need a little stimulation. So you just watch a bit of porn. It's done, and then it's done.
I think it's definitely different for guys though. So in
Um,
general, and you may or may not know this, but I think in general, guys feel a lot more shame around sexual stuff, like masturbation, especially. Like we just generally, our disposition is kind of like, so if you're a guy and you've had a wank, yeah, I would guess like 90% of us are just like, what the fuck have I been doing? Like we feel shit afterwards. We feel like, yeah. It's
that's true. I don't think that's 90% of guys. I bet if I asked all of my guy friends whether they felt like a sense of shame after they wanked, I don't think they would.
do me a favor. Do a poll.
Yeah.
Do a poll and just say, how do you feel after you've masturbated? And,
I can't put that as a part.
why? Why not? All right, I'll do. Can I
Mine is just family friendly now.
give over? No, it's not.
It is. It is.
Well, I think we need to find this out. So I'll tell you why. But there's an evolution, there's an evolutionary reason behind this. So like after,
I want you to explain the shame. You've just had a wank, and how are you feeling?
just like, what the fuck am I doing? What a loser! Like,
Why are you a loser? That makes no sense. Masturbation is really healthy for you.
yeah, it's different.
It's really healthy for you.
Yeah. So, yes, I agree. But there's 2 different forms of masturbation. Maybe 3 different forms. Like, there's like, I'm just feeling horny. I've maybe like been talking to a lass this afternoon. I get home and then I'm just like, whoa, fucking hell, I'm just up for it. And then,
Yeah.
then, right? That's really healthy.
Yeah,
That's healthy because it's like it's your life experience. You kind of like you've got this like zest. I feel like I feel that's really healthy. However, if you are certainly so I suppose it depends on how you're feeling beforehand. Are you feeling horny? Is your libido high? Okay, that's
I've got high libido.
High libido, healthy. Yeah. No, but if it's coming from a place of kind of like loneliness, kind of like a salve for feeling shit, like if you've had a bad day or you're feeling depressed or whatever, if that is the trigger for you going to masturbate, in terms of my experience as a man, that's where it becomes problematic because it's like the drinking thing. It's like I feel bad, so I'm going to drink. I feel bad, so I'm going to put some porn on and masturbate because it's about getting myself out of my head and sort of numbing that experience. That's when it becomes...
Yeah, but that's not the porn that's bad. That's a person problem.
Yes. So the reason that it's bad, right, is because let's say I've had an awful day. I'm feeling depressed or whatever. If I didn't have porn, there is no way that I would be able to masturbate because I wouldn't be able to get it up. Does that make sense? So, but the porn allows people to stick it on. Like basically, if you're not horny but you're just putting porn on, this is when it's problematic because you're not in a natural state to be doing that. And I think what you're doing is you're just emptying the tank. In terms of guys, like you're not even horny yet, you're like forcing yourself because you want to feel better, and that's when it feels like that's when you feel like, what the fuck am I doing?
Right. But that's just, again, it's just a person problem. You can't just take everything out the world, like no booze in the world, no porn in the world, no music in the world, no fun in the world, because I can't cope with it. what needs to happen is that person needs to work on themselves.
Yeah.
So then they feel more comfortable within themselves so they can just live a normal life and a happy life. Not a normal life, but a happy existence around stuff. It's a person problem.
Yes.
It's not a porn problem. It's a person problem. It's not like an alcohol problem, because there's so many people that are just horny and just masturbate and then that's it. So many people that go into a bar who can just have a couple drinks and then not drink again for another 2 weeks. It's a person problem.
Yeah.
You can't, it's not like that it's there. Of course it's going to be there. There's so many people that can just, like I said, walk into a bar, just have a drink and leave it at that. They don't have to be the most drunk person in the bar. Someone like when I'm feeling really horny, it's like I'll just watch porn and then play myself and then it's done. I'm not like, oh my God, I need to put it on 24/7. Like,
yeah.
So it's fine. It's good that it's there because keeps me out of trouble. I'm not out and about. I'm not sleeping with anyone.
Yeah.
It's just me, quick, done.
Yeah.
And no hearts are broken in that time.
John, this has been so interesting, like, because obviously we've got like very different lenses on how we've experienced the world.
And that's why it's good, because that's why you learn from each other, and what people think and how they see the world, because that's so important.
Yeah, this is why I love the podcast, because I really like to learn and like understand people differently and understand different ways of thinking or whatever. I think it just helps everyone. I wasn't sure how it was going to go today. I was like, I wonder what I'm going to talk about.
But I still have questions to ask you. I want to know. I've got naked attraction questions to ask you, because I feel I always have unfinished business with it, and people ask me all the time, and I don't ever know.
Please go ahead.
So I want to know, one, what did you think of our date? I've got like 5 questions to ask you. What did you think of our naked attraction date?
I think for me, obviously, it was quite surreal. So it was a very surreal experience, because if you've watched the show before, they're going to hate me, the producers, for revealing this now. But if you've watched the show before, it looks like they're in a bar. And if you're not in the television industry, you just think, oh, they're just in a bar, like, and there's the general public. But obviously, I walk in and it's a set, and there's like...
It's a real bar, though.
Yeah, but it's full of extras. Full of extras. And then, like, you're sat there in the middle of the room with like all these lights on you, like looking like mega glamorous and beautiful, and it was just kind of like, whoa, this is wild. And like that was kind of and I suppose I felt that I couldn't actually get to know you properly, because I felt they were a little bit rushed. But like the producers were sort of interrupting a little bit. They'd be like, "Oh, don't talk about this." Like, they didn't want us to talk about the show. If you remember, I was like, "Fucking hell, that was mad, wasn't it? We've just been on Telly Naked or whatever." And they were like, "Oh, we prefer it if you don't talk about the show." So,
well, it's because they just wanted to see what we were like away from the surrealness of the pods and stuff like that, and what we were actually like away from that in real life.
Yeah, but I think doing that removed the authenticity. Like, it made me feel unnatural. So because if I'm having someone basically prodding me and saying, no, don't say that, say this, it's very hard to show up as your authentic self. And I felt like I did okay in terms of that, but like...
I think you did really well. I feel like their job was not to like... I don't know, because I didn't feel necessarily prodded, but obviously they want to make sure that...
well, time is money, right? They need to, like, come on, chop.
The day is moving on, you know what I mean? Like, I like to like hit the bullet points and things, and they want it to be moving, because at the end of the day, they've got to capture it all, and they don't have like 10 hours, you know what I mean? They've got like an hour to capture it all.
It's no criticism to them. I understand why, but in terms of like my experience, that's why it didn't feel like totally, because if you remember, I actually said like, I'm up for like going out for a few drinks or whatever, and like just getting to know you, but maybe more as a friend.
But you had already paid me off at that point.
Yeah.
So you can't say, I don't really see a future with this girl, but I still want to go on a few drinks with her.
I think off camera, I think off camera, you and I get along much better.
So wait. Why did you pay me off then? Because then you would have said, I think this situation is really stressful for me. So if I was away from the cameras, I probably could get to know her a bit better and I would probably want to date her. But that's not what you said. You went, she's not really like my type. I think it's more of a friend's vibe.
Yeah, so
Which is different. That's a different thing. That's you said that, which is fine. You know what I mean? But
I felt like I didn't feel like I was speaking to the real you. I didn't feel like I'd seen the real you.
But it is really me. That was really me because I'm sat right in front of you.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. Like, there was something I could tell. There was something I wasn't talking to like Chrissy. Like, I don't know. And there was something.
But it was, yes, but it was still, no, I know how you mean. Because obviously, I think it's really awkward in general in the sense of I was going on a date, you know, and dates are really nerve-wracking anyway.
Yeah.
So I was still nervous because remember, I didn't know anything about your personality at this point. I'd only seen you naked, you know, and I'd know little snippets. So I was really nervous. And then, so it wasn't a sense of, this is a set and we're doing this. I was genuinely nervous. Of course, I'm about to meet this guy. I don't know whether he's going to like me. I don't know anything about him. I'm going on a date and it's being filmed.
Yeah.
Right? So then there's a sense of...
So you feel, a little bit nervous as well. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean...
But then when I ease down, then it's... Of course I feel nervous. It's still a date. It was, you know, it was a date.
Yeah. And I also...
It's not a scripted date. You know, I'm there and it's just being captured.
Like,
and then it's sort of like, oh.
And what about like, because we never spoke about children. Like, are you finished having kids? Like, what's?
Yeah, no, I'm done having kids. This is what my problem is now.
Yeah.
Is because I get hit on by loads of older guys who are all divorced, got their kids, their lives are all like set up. They don't want any more kids, and I'm like, oh, okay. But then with all the younger boys, they're all like hitting on me, and they're all like 25 and stuff, and they've got their whole lives to live, and they've never been married. I've been divorced 3 times. They've never had kids. I've got 2. At 43, I'm not looking to have another one.
Yeah, see,
no, I would. If someone came with children, obviously I'd be the most wonderful stepmom. I'd love it. That's a beautiful emerge of families, but I don't want to birth another child at all. I'm 43.
Yeah, so that was another thing because you'd said you had kids, and you're a little bit old. You're a little bit older than me. I haven't had children, and I would like a big family. Like I would. So I would like 3 or 4 kids, ideally. So obviously, when I'm looking for a partner, this has to come into it. So
yeah, no, definitely.
So I think we're just at different stages in our lives. I think, yeah.
But on the date, you never said that on the date though. Like on the date, you should have said like, if I said, "Oh, I'm a mom," I didn't even say that on the date, did I?
I think you said it on the show. Remember. I think you said it on the show.
Oh yeah, and so then you should have just said like, I'm like, what are your views on children and families? And then I would have told you. But at that time, I was probably, I was like younger then, so I was much more open to like, if I found the right man, I would have had another one. But now,
I suppose
I'm done with it, and my career is doing so well now that I wouldn't want to like, you know, I'm doing really well now. I'm happy.
That's awesome. I'm glad you're happy. And on that note, I've literally got to go, by the way. So
yeah,
all right. So before we wrap this up, can you tell me like what does the next like 5 to 10 years hold for you? Have you got any like have you got any sort of goals in it? What can we expect?
Like in my life right now, at 43, it's taken me a long time, but I'm in a really good place. I'm really happy all over, emotionally, mentally, physically, and financially. I can't even believe that this would ever happen to me. So all I'm looking for in the future is to carry on working. It doesn't matter what I'm working on. Like, as long as I'm entertaining, my heart's full, you know. I want my children to always be happy. I want to stay healthy. And I just want to just live like the life I always ever dreamed of, because I just think we're all just passing through. So I'm not looking 10 years into the future. I'm just really present. I'm always in the right now. So as long as I remain happy, healthy, I get to love and be loved, I'm sorted.
Amazing. Well, Chrissy, I've really enjoyed this. I think it's been.
I feel like I'm getting pied off again. Are you actually pieing me off again to the nation?
Give over. Stop that. Stop making me out to be a dickhead. I'm not a dickhead.
Everyone was it was in the press so much, but I don't understand why it was such a big deal. Like, loads of people get pied off on that show, but it just never got picked up as much as you pieing me off.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think you made the most of it, but there we go.
Oh, yeah, because I was like, dead honest, I was like, he has pied me off.
Well, hopefully it was the nicest pieing off you've ever had, so.
Well, yeah, I mean, a guy once dumped me by rap. So,
Wow.
Yeah, it was
Fuck that guy. Yeah.
No, yeah, I know.
Well, thank you so much. Where should I direct people if they want to like follow you, stuff? What's all your Instagram, all the rest of it?
My Instagram is at Chrissie Wunna. Every single handle I have is just at Chrissie Wunna. I just like to keep it simple, innit? Like, it's just my name.
Nice. Good job you're not called.
Anyone will be able to find me.
Good job you're not called John Smith.
Oh, I know.
That handle
Can
would
you
have been
imagine?
taken.
Yes, because I'm not called John Smith, I can just use my name.
All right. Well, have a lovely day, whatever you're up to, and I'll speak to you soon.
Oh, yeah, it's been lovely to chat to you. I love you so much.
All right.
Cheers.
Thanks, Chrissy. Bye.